Hi, I'm Dana Shoaf, editor of Civil War Times magazine, and I'm back with Melissa Winn behind the camera here on the Gettysburg battlefield. Before I start out, I'd like to say, yes, Drew Gruber of Civil War Trails, there is no bad day to go on a battlefield. I agree with you. Hello to Pam Berry of Johnstown, New York. Thanks for checking in. And Steve Harpold, you and I share a fondness for Munshower Hill. I think that's really cool. And we are really at the base of Munshower Hill. It's behind me to the east. You can't see it through the trees, but if we look a little bit to the southeast, you may be able to see the northern open face of Little Round Top and the monument to the 139th Pennsylvania there. I'll mention them in a minute. What we've done is come down the Wheatfield Road from Munshower Hill, and we've entered the John Weichert farm lane. You can see where it runs along here. This monument with the two Napoleon cannons is to Lieutenant Aaron Walcott's 3rd Massachusetts Battery C. This is one of the batteries that Sickles staff officers snagged and put in this location. Walcott wrote that it was very difficult to get his guns positioned here. He had to get them over the wall. It was really difficult, and they were in a very vulnerable position. Late in the afternoon, Brigadier General William Wofford's Georgia Brigade is the last brigade of Longstreet's flank attack to move out. And they are going to come barreling down the Wheatfield Road. They're not going to face a lot of opposition, so they have a lot of strength, and they're going to overwhelm Walcott's battery. Walcott's gunners managed to get off about one shot. They spike their Napoleon cannons, and then about 115 to 120 artillerymen take off towards Cemetery Ridge because Wofford's guys overrun the battery. Wofford's men continue on, and they're driving right toward Munshower Hill. Now, there were Union artillery batteries there, but no infantry until a 6th Corps Brigade, commanded by Brigadier General Frank Wheaton, arrives on the scene about 7:30 or so in the day, very late in the afternoon. That 6th Corps Brigade has 3 Pennsylvania regiments and 1 New York regiment, including the 1 PA regiment is 139th PA. Their monument's right here. They will counterattack off Munshower Hill, drive Wofford's guys back toward the Emmetsburg Road, and then Wheaton's brigade will take up position here, and that more or less ends the fighting on this location. Wheaton's men will also recapture most of the guns of Walcott's battery. I want to walk over to this other monument and talk about it for a little bit before we conclude. And as I do, Melissa's going to pan down the Weichert Lane, and you can see the house through the trees. That's actually a post-war house. John T. Weichert lived here. He was a carpenter and a farmer, and he was in the Union Army during the Battle of Gettysburg, but he wasn't here. His regiment was in Baltimore. But because the 3rd Corps was so badly damaged, Weichert's regiment, the 138th Pennsylvania, will be put in the Army of the Potomac, and he's going to get wounded at the Battle of Mine Run on November 19th, 1863. His house is in bad shape after the war, and he'll sell the property to a farmer named Altoff, who will buy the property, tear down Weichert's house, and then build these post-war buildings that still stand here. Altoff eventually donates his farm to the Gettysburg Battlefield Association. So we've arrived at this very large statuesque monument. And this is also a monument to the 93rd Pennsylvania Infantry. Now you remember, I showed you a monument on the top of the hill, that handsome monument, and I said that was the 93rd Pennsylvania's first monument, put up in October of 1884. And I actually have a photograph of the dedication of that monument to show you. It's a really neat image. You can see the veterans of the regiment here. There's the monument itself. There's a band that was playing, and there's a large United States flag, perhaps even the one that they carried at the Battle of Gettysburg. Now, what's interesting about this picture is that monument was originally on this rock. This is where that monument was originally located. But starting in the late 19th century, the state of Pennsylvania awarded $1,500 to regiments who had fought here so that they could put monuments on the battlefield. It didn't matter if they already had a monument here. So the Regimental Association of the 93rd petitions, and they get $1,500 to put up a new monument. Now, to get the monument, they had to meet certain qualifications. One, all the monuments had to be out of this much lighter colored granite. All the monuments had to have a Corps badge prominently displayed, so you could see the 6th Corps cross on the top, And every one of these monuments had to have a bronze state seal of Pennsylvania prominently displayed. If you see a monument from Pennsylvania on the battlefield and it has those three features, you know that it's a monument that was paid for with state money. Now Melissa's going to back up again a little bit, and that first monument, like I said, was originally on this boulder. So what the Pennsylvanians of the 93rd did, they had masons come in, take that monument down, and move it to the top of Munshower Hill, where it is now located. Then they came in and they sheared off the top of this boulder to accommodate this much larger monument. Now if you kind of walk around here, Melissa, you can see some of the mason's marks. This is where a drill was used to kind of shear off the top of that boulder. And what's even more fascinating is if you look closely at these rocks, they're actually part of that original boulder, and you can see carving. This says beginning of 3rd Brigade, and they're laying all around here, and if you look closely, you can see carving on them. And as far as I know, this is a unique situation on the battlefield as well. You don't see anything like that anywhere else. So, oh, I almost forgot, this is a dedication of that second monument at the same location as the first. This is the 1888 dedication, and you can see the veterans here again, and you can see this new monument we're standing in front of right now. So like I said, Munshower Hill and the John Weichert Farm Lane are often overlooked. As a matter of fact, while we've been here, I've seen many cars bypass both locations. But it just goes to show you that even areas of this battlefield you think nothing significant happened, there's a lot of interesting stories to check out. So I hope when you come here, you stop at Munshower Hill and come down here to the Weichert Farm Lane and check out these interesting stories. I thank you all for watching our First Monday programs, and I hope that you tune in next month, which is going to be on July 1st actually. And even though that's the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, our next videos are going to be in Virginia. We've got some interesting stories to bring you from that location. This is Dana Shoaf and Melissa Winn of Civil War Times magazine, signing off from this absolutely beautiful day on the Gettysburg battlefield. Thanks for watching.